Hello there, it's me again, Catherine Collert-Page, with another writing tip. So a couple of videos ago, I talked about writing retreats. I mentioned how Mari Jorgensen used to send herself on a retreat to finish her packets for Vermont College. And I realized that this is another good topic for writing tips. I've actually been on a writing retreat before with my critique group, Christie Barnes Anderson, Beth Graubart, and Evelyn Weiss, and it was great. We rented a cottage on the beach, and we had set periods of time, long blocks, where we would sit and write. And the great thing about the cottage is there was no internet connection, and it was small enough that you could see everyone from each room, so we knew that we were all writing. So it's as though we were policing each other. I think they might all be introverts, and so that's also something that made it work. I am not. I am an extrovert, and fortunately, I'm an extrovert who cares about pleasing the group and being socially acceptable, and so I knew they were going to get really ticked off if I started talking while we were supposed to be writing, and that helped keep me on task. And then afterwards, we would come together and critique, and we got good work done, and it was great to have a writing community. There's lots of ways that you can do a retreat. There are a number of formal retreats out there. I think that Nancy Sondel with Pacific Coast Children's Writers Workshop is doing an invitation-only critique. So if you join one of her larger workshops and get to know her over time, then you might eventually get invited to the invitation-only retreat. I believe the Writing Barn does some retreats, and I'm not sure what the invitation requirements are for that. Sarah Aronson, I think, does a full novel retreat with Vermont College of Fine Arts. There are lots of others out there. If you subscribe to AWP or the Writers Chronicle, you can find listings for retreats. If you join various writing groups like Society for Children's Book Writers and Editors, or your state's local writing group, you can also learn about retreats. But you can also do what we did in our critique group and just make your own retreat. Get together with some writers you know and go on a retreat. Even if you're a law student, you could do this in the form of a study group or a retreat to work on your memo. Now, keep in mind that various law schools do have honor code requirements, so you want to make sure that it's not a violation of your school's honor code. In fact, I'm thinking of trying to start a more formalized Legal Writing Institute retreat group for scholars. I know that recently, I believe Ruth Anne Robinson, Ken Chestek, and Steve Johansen, who have this amazing book called Your Client's Story, went on a writing retreat together, and I would imagine, and I think they do that regularly, and as you can see from their book, it must be working for them because it's a fabulous book. In any event, you want to make sure that these people with whom you retreat are all people who are going to stay on task and not get chatty. I'm not sure what would happen if a group of extroverts went on a retreat together. My guess, also I do not speak from experience, but my guess is that it's probably also not a good idea to go on a retreat with someone to whom you are attracted. I'm suspecting that will not keep you on task. But overall, a retreat is a great idea. It's a wonderful way to carve out some writing space. And just now, as I'm talking about it, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I really need to sign up for one of those retreats. And I maybe even need to create a retreat through LWI and see what other retreats I can create with people, because that's something that really helps me with my writing and fuels me. Okay, so write on.